Hello everyone, my name is Lucky, a mathematics enthusiast, giving you a special welcome to Prince Maths Clinic. It's nice to have you in class today.
Here we have three questions involving differentiation, and we will be solving them one after the other. Now let's look at the first one. It says given that V is 4/3 pi r cubed and A is 4 pi r squared, we are asked to find the A, the V. Now remember the basic knowledge you have in differentiation. I would first of all differentiate V with respect to the variable here. The only variable here is r. Pi is a constant, 4/3 is a constant. So if I differentiate the V with respect to r, I will have, you take this 3, you multiply 4/3 times 4/3, then pi r. Then you take 1 away from the power. That's what the rule of differentiation tells us. So 3, we cancel 3. So I'm going to have 4 left, then pi, then r. 3 minus 1 gives us 2. So if you differentiate V with respect to r, this is what you would obtain. Then I'm also going to differentiate A with respect to r, which is the r. Now, following the same rule, you will take this 2, multiply this 4, so it's going to be 2 multiplied by 4 pi r, then take 1 from the power. So this will now be 2 times 4, that is 8 pi, then r. 2 minus 1 is 1. So you get 8 pi r. But for us to obtain the V, it means we have to multiply the A, the r, multiplied by the inverse of the V, the r. And the inverse of the V, the r will now be the r over the V, where the r will cancel the r and you have the A over the V, the A over the V. So now, what is my dA, the r? The result of dA, the r is simply 8 pi r. Then the inverse of this means 1 over, what is the V, the r? The V, the r is simply 4 pi r squared. So r will cancel one of the r's here, pi will cancel pi here. So 8 can go in 8 2 times. So 2 times 1 gives us what? 2. Then you are left with r here. So therefore, we can say the result for the A, the V is simply 2 over r. That is the result to question number 1. Now, the second question says, if y is equals to log of 1 over x in base e, we should find dy dx. So this is what I'm going to do. Y is equals to log of 1 over x to base e. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make u to be 1 over x, changing it from fraction to index, it will be x to the power of -1. Therefore, it then means that my y will now be log. Since I've said 1 over x is equals to u, so I can say log u to base e. Now, I want to differentiate du with respect to x, dx. So it will be -1 times x, which is minus x. Then remember the power here is -1. Then when you subtract -1 from -1, you get -2, which is the same as -1 over x squared. Then I can also find dy with respect to x, dy with respect to u. So if you differentiate, it's a constant anyway. So therefore, if you differentiate, because this is natural log of u, which will be 1 over u. Therefore, our dy dx will simply be the product of dy du times du dx. How do you know you are correct? Du cancels out du, so dy dx equals to dy dx. So what is dy du? The result of dy du is simply 1 over u. Then what's the result of du dx? The result is what? Negative 1 over x squared. So at this point, what do? We know that what? Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Then, of course, you can substitute the value for u back into the equation. What's the value for u? The value for u is simply 1 over x. And if you take the inverse of 1 over x, what would you get? You get x. Then, remember you have a negative here. Put that negative. Then over what? X squared. So at the end of the day, x here, we cancel one of the x. So you have negative 1 over x. That is the answer to this particular question. Look into the third question. The third question says that differentiate x over cos x with respect. The first thing I will say is that let y be equals to x over cosine x. So this is a case. I can make this x to be u and this to be v. So I am going to apply a formula that says my dy dx is going to be v. That means bottom, differentiation of the top, minus the top, differentiation of the bottom, over the square of the bottom. So you can say bottom, the top, minus top, the bottom, over bottom squared. Good. So therefore, what's our v? We said cosine x is our v. So this becomes cosine x multiplied by du. Du, if you differentiate x, there's a value here. If you differentiate x, you are going to get what? 1 minus. Then what's the value for u? U is x. Then if you differentiate v, if you differentiate cosine x, you get negative sine x. Everything over v squared, which is cosine squared x. So let us further simplify. Cosine x times 1 gives us cosine x. Minus times minus gives us plus. So here you have x sine x all over cosine squared x. So you can further simplify. Then I will divide every term here by cosine square x plus x sine x over cosine square x. Now, one of the cosine x here will cancel 1 here. Then this result becomes what? This result simply becomes 1 over cosine x plus. So I'm going to split this into 2 by doing this. X sine x over cosine x multiply. Then I have 1 of the cosine x hanging there over 1 over cosine x. So if you multiply the two together, you get back cos square x. So from trig identity, we know that 1 over cosine x is sec x. Then sine over cosine is tan x. So I can say this is x tan x multiplied by sec x. So you can choose to rewrite it as sec x plus, I want to bring this to the front, so this becomes s sec x tan x. If you so wish, you can factorize. because sec x is here and here, so you can bring sec x out. So sec x divided by sec x, you have 1 plus x sec x tan x divided by sec x, you will have x tan x left. This is the final result to the number 3. And with this, we've come to the end of today's lesson. Kindly subscribe to the channel. Click on the notification icon so that you can get more videos as they drop on this channel. Bye.